This is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, and I'm doing a video on 10 rare fruit trees that produce fruit for you multiple times or continuously throughout the year here in Florida in a biological system. And number one on my list is cashew. I think it's a very undervalued fruit crop to grow here in Florida. The fruit, which is the top part, which gets big and juicy, is delicious juice, and the bottom part is the nut. And we get 2 crops a year. This is the second year this has happened. So we got kind of a smallish crop the first year, or not the first year, but this season, this year, I mean, I got like 20 fruits off of it. And it looks like it's going to be a kind of a smallish crop this year, but the fruits were very large. I mean, one cashew apple was enough for like 2 shot glasses. So the cashew is definitely on that list, and we do what everyone else does. We do chop and drop. So we you know, cut these pepper trees back and drop them. Or I guess I do. It's a royal we. We have other stuff that grows. I plant. This is, you know, you can't really see because everything's green on green, and I walk through and get stuck in my soil health ramble circle. But we grow pigeon pea and, you know, plant a bunch of other stuff into the other fruit trees right around it, and then grow the orchard floor out. The orchard floor is your mulch, your living mulch. The healthier it is, the healthier your plants will be. And you gotta like distribute carbon, like palm fronds and stuff, tree limbs. These lychee trees, they some of them will bloom after fruiting, and they bloom in June, and but none of those blooms have ever set fruit, so I'm not going to include lychee in this continuous fruiting trees for Florida. But what I am going to add to this list, there's 10 trees, or yeah, 10 trees and like 3 plants that continuously fruit here that I know of. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but the Imbe, Garcinia livingstonii, it produces continuously for a long time. So if it has ripe fruit on it, it could be flowering largely and producing fruit. This is our tree that doesn't produce a lot of fruit, but it is our oldest fruiting tree. It's been fruiting for 3 years, and it fruited from seed in 4. So they can fruit pretty quick. This year it did not fruit, but it had the largest flower I ever saw on it, and it's starting to do another one. They're kind of like the japoticabas with the flowers at those little nodes. So it's getting ready to start flowering again. So the Imbe for sure is on that list. So the next tree is gonna be the sugar apple. And we grow lots of sugar apples. We have 100 fruiting trees that are nursery bought trees, or maybe 90 nursery bought, and then we have like 20 seed bought or seed grown. But the sugar apple, it has an extremely long fruiting period, so you can be harvesting fruit off of it, and it will be sending out flowers. And we had fruit on our sugar apples that, not a lot, but one tree I think had 1 or 2 fruit on it that was that ripened in December. So I don't sell sugar apples. My problem with sugar apples is if the fruit is under 1 pound, it tends to be seedy, and that will turn people off of wanting to grow them. I mean, the first time I had sugar apple was a fruit I bought at one of those plant sales in Palm Beach, and I was thrilled to taste the fruit. I had trees that were like flowering in our first property, but I tasted the fruit and I hated it, and I'm like, oh. But then our trees flowered and fruited, and the fruit was really good. But my other half doesn't like it, but I like black sapote and they don't. So that's people have different tastes. There's going to be so many jackfruit. This little tiny tree, and it's just amazing that Florida, you're able to do this in Florida. So the next tree, I'm just going to talk about the raw sapote, because I know there's knowledgeable fruit growers in like North Australia, Queensland area, and they say that this can produce fruit 3 times a year. But we only get 1 crop a year off these little trees. They're nursery grown trees, but who knows what's going to happen with our seed grown trees that where our seeds were inoculated. Meaning we put the biology on our seeds. We wash our seeds in rainwater that has a biodynamic manure horn with the manure in it. And it has fungi that grow out of it, and it kind of doesn't break down. It just stays in the horn. And we wash our seeds in that. So any seed from us is going to be biologically inoculated. So you definitely don't want to put hydrogen peroxide on any of our seeds if you're going to buy any. And the sugar apple seeds, I realized, I looked at the prices. I haven't looked for seeds in a while because I kind of have everything. Most everything. There's a couple of things I want. So this is the Kwai Muk. So this is a tree that's on our list of fruiting multiple times, or more than 1 crop, or a long continuous crop, because even though we haven't eaten fruit from this tree yet, it's been in the ground 5 years here, it's a grafted tree, it's set out a huge crop this year that I thought for sure was going to be in my mouth, in my belly, in me belly one time soon. And when it rained, they all fell off eventually, but I think they had help from the birds. But it's now set a small second crop. So that is a tree that blooms and fruits more than once, or continuously. So I got some inspiration from one of the channels I watched, Dan's Permaculture, and he showed his Cacao mango tree that is doing a second fruiting. And people really don't talk about second fruitings in mangoes because I guess it's kind of rare. But I know we get second fruitings on our Cacao mangoes. This is the first year that's happened. And he has a little tiny tree that, he obviously planted it not too long ago from a 3-gallon, and it's already got his orchard floor growing right up next to it, and he's got a second crop on it, which that in itself is amazing, I think. And this is our coconut cream mango, and this is the second crop on it. So mangoes will do a second crop, and the orchard floor is important for getting your trees to fruit, having the biology help you, assist you grow your tropical fruit trees. So hats off to Dan. And he also had some fruit trees that I wanted, like a moringa. So I don't have any of those, but it looks like birds would like those. There's those little dwarf tomatillos that look good because I kind of like the sour fruit from all the sweet fruit that we have here. I mean, I'll show you. We still have mangoes in the refrigerator and mangoes on the tree, and this is the seeds I have to plant, and 100 achacha and 20 more mangoes. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the sugar apple fruit. So, and there's like star fruit and everything else. We have too much fruit to eat. So the next continuous fruiting plant I wanted to talk about is the passion fruit. So the passion fruit really isn't a tree, but it's one of the three that isn't a tree that I'm talking about. And these things are so delicious. It's like drinking liquid blackberries is how I feel it is. And I wasn't grown with these, but I don't know, something made me want to try one. And because there's just so many of them and they drop off, and I cracked it open and they are delicious. They're so good. I imagine we sell fruits from this. I'm looking for some more ripe ones. There's some getting ripe down there. They don't get eaten by butterflies around here. Our butterflies go for the orchard floor. They like the herb flowers, I've noticed, mostly. They do go for our mangoes. So the passion fruit, oh my God. So yeah, I plant a lot of other stuff in here, shrubs. I mostly focus on heliconia and gingers. I already talked about the canistel. This is a fruiting canistel tree. It's the pointed one, and supposedly they are continuous fruiters, but we've only been here 5 years, so we don't know what our trees are going to do. But this list of 10 fruiting trees that I have that fruit continuously here, or for long periods of time, are repeat bloomers. It's pretty big, and I'm probably forgetting something, I'm sure. And there's probably stuff to be added, like the Ingas, I bet. They seem to have a long bloom period, and I know they repeat bloom, so I just haven't seen fruit yet. But I think this year we'll see fruit. So the star fruit. Star fruit is a continuous fruiting plant here. Grafted trees. Grafted nursery grown trees continuously fruit here. So, I mean, look at all those fruits. It's just, they're loaded with fruit. And there's a difference in your star fruit. Not all star fruit is created equal. It's kind of like dragon fruit. So I like the Kerry and the Sri. Star fruits. So that's all I grow. I've grown the other ones. I didn't like them. I wouldn't eat them. I eat these. I like them. They're juicy and sweet with no astringent taste. So the next tree on our list is the lemon drop mangosteen. I have a couple Kwai Muks over here, but the lemon drop mangosteen is a continuous fruiter here for us. I think it just kind of ended right now, but I imagine if I looked, it would be flowering. I just got a fruit off of it, so a fruit that set after my first harvest. We get lots of carbon. When this was lawn, they picked all that up, and then when it's lawn, when it rains heavily, it just washes into these ditches they have here, and then the rain just pounds out all the organic matter left in the sand. That's why you have white sand. That's all that's from. But I'm not going to get on this soil health loop again. Everyone knows we manage for soil health. So this is the lemon drop mangosteen, and I'm kind of trying to look for some fruit. Looks like it's setting off some new leaves. This tree's finally getting some size to it. I bet we get a huge crop this season coming up. And I like it. I've said I didn't like some of these fruits, but the fruits that I used to like are not the fruits that I still like. So I think I overdid it on the sugar is what happened. I made myself sick. It's my own fault. You can make yourself sick with too much fruit, people. So this is our cacao, and I've had this before, and this is a long flowering, fruiting tree also, but I forgot to put it on the list. And for sure, we're gonna get fruit. This tree, this is our second generation tree, so this is seed from something I've already fruited outside. I experimented with cacao a lot, seedlings, and growing them without water, and you can't really put them in sunlight even if it's got a cover like that. It's just, they need to have a little bit or more shade, a little more shade. So they're happy like that, and they're really easy to grow, and I know that they are going to continuously or have a long fruiting period for us in the future as soon as we start getting some fruit off of it. So that was the lemon drop mangosteen and the cacao, but I guess there's like more trees than I thought. I knew I would see some more that continuously fruited in Florida, a biological system. So the next one I want to talk about is mulberry. It's not really a tropical fruit. I was gifted basically every single type of mulberry there is by my friend, the plant hoarder and grower. And so we have mulberries. We have mulberries that produce fruit a lot if you like cut them back. This is the Chiang Mai 60, I guess, and I don't see any fruit on it. I'm not going to go in there because mulberries, I like them, but I'm not going to be selling mulberries, I don't think. Okay, so who is next? Who is next? Okay, so I think maybe the next will be the guava. I know you like them, birds. So the guava is like a fruit that I'm growing to appreciate. This is where I'm going to do vegetables. That's what you call fungally dominated people. So you start your vegetable. I start my vegetable plots in late summer. Anyway, so the guava. The guava, the banana, the dragon fruit. So guavas are really easy from seed, and I think I'd really, our seeds are like, I guess people will grow guavas from seed, but it's I guess they have to be cheap. I think maybe collections of seeds might be the way to go. So like 5 guava seeds, 10 guava seeds, 10 sugar apple seeds, 10 5-star apple seeds, and the other seeds that we have. Any other seeds. Just a mix. Since I guess that's how I start my seeds, it would make sense to sell seeds in a group. So this is our freaking guava, and this is a grafted tree, and it's really disgusting how much fruit this has. It's just loaded with fruit, people. And guavas are definitely a heavy producers and repeat producers, and can be grown from seed. And this is the Ruby Supreme, and we bought it from Lara Farm, and it's been in the ground 5 years, and we water it during drought. So it's nursery grown tree. It's on our artesian drip, but we don't water any of our seed grown trees. There's a ripe one. Oh, look at all the animals really like it. So there's lots of seeds in it, I see. So I'll take 1 animals. I like fresh seeds. So another continuous blooming all year round is bananas. I mean, the bananas are crazy, insane. The Namwa bananas is what we grow. And we get bananas pretty much year round. The winter bananas are not as good as the summer bananas. So I guess because of the rarity, you could still sell them for as much, but I think we're gonna sell bananas because I know you can pick them green, and I'm fairly certain we have a customer for them. And if not, I can eat them. There's it. Been so much rain that sugar cane works really good to grow your fruit trees. And what grows fruit trees really well is planting stuff in the Caesar weed. This is a seed grown black sapote. Okay, black sapote has a long season, but I'm not sure if I want to put it on this list yet, because this is the first year that it's really set out big second blooms, and I haven't seen how much fruit set there's going to be, so I'm not going to talk about that. But this was a mango that froze back, coming back, thank God, above the graft. That's why it's important to plant seed-grown trees, because Florida can get freezing even here in 10A. You can get a record, hopefully not 2 years in a row, knock on wood. So the Atemoya. The Atemoya has a long fruiting period and produces large, delicious fruit. So you don't have the same problems as I have with the sugar apples in their small size. For me, sugar apples to sell would have to be a pound or more. That's just, I just have found too many inconsistencies with the sugar apples. But this one had a fruit on it, and there it is. This is a Gefner Atemoya. I'm gonna plant all our Atemoyas because these little trees haven't really put a lot of fruit out. This one, but I might have some Priestley Atemoyas, which are better than Gefner. But I need to check that tree. But they have a long fruiting period, and Atemoyas are easily my top 3 fruits. But I couldn't find enough Atemoyas when I planted this place out. And then they really struggled until I figured out how to grow them. And then I started planting more of them. So we have quite a few Atemoyas now that hopefully in a couple years will be producing enough where I could sell seeds all day, every day. And I guess I'm gonna select only the best fruit to plant out here. So Sapodilla. Sapodilla, this is a Hasia Sapodilla, and Sapodillas never stop fruiting. The grafted Sapodillas in a healthy biological system. So your little 3-gallon trees are just gonna keep pumping out fruit and not growing. So what I found helps, and I waited a long time before I figured this out, is if you pluck the fruit off, the tree will grow and get some size to it. This is another Hasia Sapodilla. We have all the types that Zills sells, I believe, and the good ones. Silas Wood, some others. Anyway, that's my list of continuous fruiting plants. I forgot to mention the dragon fruit, and I'm not even anywhere near it, and I'm kind of getting a little hot now. But this is Frog Valley Farm, and we practice soil health, and we're trying to show people how to grow rare tropical fruits for basically nothing, and in Florida, and it also helps the environment. Anyway, have a good day.